Our top focus story on the broadcast is turmoil in Pakistan and its ramifications on the line of control. So what's happening on the streets of Rawalpindi and Islamabad? There are massive protests against the French president, they want the ambassador to be recalled. It's a protest against free speech is what they're saying, but there's much more to it. Imran Khan has now banned all rallies across Pakistan, and this Tehreek-e-Labbaik says is unacceptable. Apparently, pellet guns are now being used, pellet guns that Pakistan was so protesting against in other parts of the world, but apparently they're now being used in Pakistan. Plus protests that are taking place in Waziristan and in Balochistan. We bring you this report. Violent protesters of radical Barelvi hardline group Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan clashed with the Islamabad police at multiple locations in Rawalpindi and Islamabad. Police tried to seal every road leading to the capital's diplomatic enclave as the administration kowtowed to the Labbaik leadership once again.
रैली कितने बजे निकलेगी? बंदे कितने होंगे? खत्म कितना तो आड़ा प्यार दा मुल्क है। 10 जने बैठ तो बड्डे होते बैठन सारे किसी का प्यार दादा काले पानी गया होवे। अंग्रेज दिया चोलियां करते रहे हो सारे बुजुर्गों को फांसी दिवान लग गया। आज पाकिस्तान के नामे पड़ते हो।
Several Pakistan policemen were injured in pitched battles with radicals, demanding the closure of the French embassy in Islamabad after the French President Emmanuel Macron spoke in favor of free speech. In sheer panic, Pakistan shut down internet and mobile services in the violence-affected areas. Fearing that the protesters could enter the diplomatic enclave, Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan ordered that all rallies be banned across Pakistan using coronavirus pandemic as an excuse. Imran Khan is facing a series of protests, including this massive rally in North Waziristan by the Pashtuns against the Pakistan Army and ISI to highlight the brutalities suffered by people in Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The protesters insist that 30,000 men had been abducted by the Pakistan Army in the past 10 years in both Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan and remain missing. Imran Khan's problems have also been compounded by the entire opposition standing up to the Pakistan Army, ruling by proxy using Imran Khan as a puppet. In fact, PMLN leader Maryam Nawaz leveled a grave charge against the Pakistani leadership.
अगर आप मरियम नवाज के कमरों और बाथरूम्स में कैमरास लगा सकते हैं, ये हुआ है मेरे साथ। अगर आप मरियम नवाज के हर चीज को आप उस पे नजर रख सकते हैं, टैप कर सकते हैं, अगर आप मरियम नवाज के ऊपर जाती हमले करवा सकते हैं, तो पाकिस्तान की कोई भी औरत महफूज नहीं है।
Pakistan is also in deep financial crisis and has sought another $2.7 billion loan from China to work on the stalled CPEC projects. Overwhelmed by trouble on virtually every front, Pakistan appears to be trying to divert attention from all internal blaming India through a fake terror dossier. Bureau Report, India Today. We have Kamar Cheema, who's joining us from Pakistan. Ambassador Vishnu Prakash joins us from the national capital. He's someone who keeps a very keen eye on developments in the neighborhood. And of course, we have India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan with me on the broadcast. But to you first, Kamar Cheema, what's the latest on the streets of Islamabad and Rawalpindi? Has internet been restored? Have phone lines been restored? Or is Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan still creating mayhem on the streets?
Well, right now, I think the internet is about to be restored, but the Interior Ministry in Islamabad has just spoken to the media. But at the same time, the workers of the TLP, which is a protest movement, but now it's also a political party, and they have taken over Faizabad, which is the center of Islamabad, those who have to enter Islamabad and those who have to exit from Islamabad. So I think the government is really in trouble because they don't want to use violence, because last time they used violence, it didn't turn out to be good. So this time, what it seems is that they want to have a dialogue. The religious affairs minister in Islamabad is about to meet the protesters, and the leader of the TLP, Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, Rizvi, is not here in that protest, and his son and some of his workers are leading the protest. But hopefully things will be resolved, because majority of the time the demands may have general acceptance in the society, but people do not like the way they are protesting, because they didn't ask for we will go for a sit-in. They only asked for a rally, but they didn't ask for a sit-in, and they have entered in a sit-in in a second day, which is unlawful by now.
Okay, the troubles that Pakistan is facing on multiple fronts, Ambassador, you've heard these slogans, and so has Qamar Cheema and Geeta, slogans like "Ye jo dehshat gardi hai, iske piche vardi hai." But the fact, Ambassador, these slogans are now increasingly becoming commonplace. Initially Balochistan, now also in North and South Waziristan. What do you make of it? Does Pakistan Army stand completely exposed in the eyes of the Pakistani people now? Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, can you hear me, sir? I'll take a moment and re-establish that link with Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, but let me come back to you, Qamar Cheema, with this point. Ye jo dehshat gardi hai, iske piche vardi hai. What do you make of these thousands and thousands of protesters in Waziristan and the protests against Pakistan Army?
Well, I think the important thing which needs to be understood is that the Pashtun nationalism is on the rise in Pakistan. Pashtun nationalism is on the rise in Pakistan, and in this entire movement, youth is the basic determinant which has gone for this activism. And remember, the idea is that the government fears that this Pashtun nationalism should not have transnational linkages, because in Afghanistan and in Pakistan, youth is in big number, and there are connections between the Pakistani Pashtun nationalists and in Afghanistan. And at the same time, Pashtun nationalists who were before this Pashtun Tahaffuz movement, like Awami National Party or other Pashtun nationalists, they are not delivering as what the youth believes. So a new, many in Pakistan believes that a new social contract is needed, where these young men, their voices must be heard. Although Imran Khan has won in KP, where this Pashtun nationalism is on the rise, but Imran Khan does not represent majority of these ethnic Pashtun nationalists. So this is a very interesting situation.
It's not restricted. Just
all these elements on board.
It is a very dangerous situation. It's a very dangerous situation, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash. For Pakistan, ye jo dehshat gardi hai, iske piche vardi hai, whether it's Waziristan or Balochistan, whether it's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa or Balochistan, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, is Pakistan Army finally getting exposed in their own country, the Punjabi-dominated Pakistan Army?
It was waiting to happen, Gaurav. It was waiting to happen. How long can you use the entire state to further your own motives, your own interests? How long can you drain the state of resources to fill your own coffers? I mean, it would almost sound like an occupying army, but it is the Pakistani army of its own. And now that push has come to shove, it is amazing that Senator Ataur Rahman was speaking in the Senate and has directly accused the Pakistani army of terrorism within the country, and has in fact accused Pakistani army of staging the 27th October bombing in Peshawar. So what else is left to be said? What is the role of an army? The army is supposed to be neutral, apolitical. Pakistani army was never neutral or apolitical. But as Nawaz Sharif says, they are making and breaking governments. And they are now selected a prime minister, which they have appointed in the country, whose ineptitude is legendary. So people are fed up. There is unemployment, there is economic woes.
People are fed up. Absolutely. And look at the trouble. And what does Imran Khan do? Is you talk about his inaptitude. Listen into Imran Khan, how whenever there's trouble in Pakistan, of course, this is age old in Pakistan, you blame India. But look at just hear Imran Khan, I'll tell you more about this.
हिंदुस्तान की कोशिश है क्या? पाकिस्तानी फौज को डिस्क्रेडिट करे। पाकिस्तानी फौज को डिस्क्रेडिट करके क्या होगा? अगर पाकिस्तान की फौज अगर इस वक्त कमजोर हो जाती है, हिंदुस्तान पाकिस्तान के 3 टुकड़े करना चाहता है। इस उनके थिंक टैंक्स की स्टेटेड पॉलिसी है ये।
Okay. You heard this, Qamar Cheema. Before I bring in Geeta Mohan, you must respond to this. Pakistan Army stands accused of the October 27 bombing in Pakistan. Not an allegation not made by India, but an allegation made within Pakistan. The movement, the Tahaffuz movement is all about by Pakistan Army. The same movement in Balochistan. Baloch people say Pakistan Army spreads terror. What's your country up to, sir? All you do is blame India.
Well, I think what is important to understand is that the military only comes into the setup when the civilians demand it. When there are to be elections, the military is asked to come in. When there is to be polio vaccination, the military is asked to come in. When there is fighting terrorism, the military is asked to come in. When
Sir, the military decides when it wants to come in.
When it is the Karachi operation,
why does everybody call Imran Khan selected? Why is Imran Khan called selected?
The problem is that Imran Khan has a 26 years long history. So calling him a selector, I think this is the political bias of his opponent. But let me tell you, they have had a political process through which Imran Khan is in power, and the military has fought terrorism. Military is on the roads, on the mountains. Military is fighting militants in Balochistan. So you blame the military, but the military is the solution of every problem. So the politicians invite military and then they blame military. I think that is where we are calling that there should be a broader national dialogue in Pakistan where all these things must be discussed and forever resolved, because this is not the way. In 2018, the government decided that the military will come in for monitoring the elections, and later on the People's Party said that why military is
Imagine,
That's why
Geeta, and amidst all this, so the selectors, which is the Pakistan Army, it directs the civilians to call the army, and then the army comes in. It's the army that calls all the shots, and now they're blaming India. Whatever happens in Pakistan, they're blaming in India. They're blaming India with some fake dossier, Geeta.
Well, a few very important points, but before I get to that, Gaurav, what a telling statement from Qamar Cheema when he says military is the solution to all the problems in Pakistan. That speaks volumes of where Pakistan stands today, and that it is a military establishment, that there is no real democracy there, that there is no political structure. Why? Because of the statement that was just made by Qamar Cheema, that military is the solution. I have not heard a democracy like ours say that military is the solution to all our problems. We have different wings handling all different problems, and only military being used to defend our country. Whereas look at what Pakistan is doing. To the question of how they continue to blame India. Now, India, whenever has leveled charges against Pakistan, has backed it with evidence. India has been asking Pakistan if they have evidence that they should be sharing it with India and with the world. Pakistan has not shared any evidence with the world. Now, Qamar Cheema would want to would beg to differ and say that they have provided evidence, but nothing so far that we've seen where the United States of America, the United Kingdom, the United Nations have actually come forward and said that, well, this is the evidence, and these are such and such people who need to be designated. In fact, they failed to even designate people. They tried to in the recent past, 5 Indians who they tried to, and they failed miserably at that as well.
So, Qamar Cheema, whatever your Prime Minister may be trying to do internally to sort out problems internally, you try to do that externally and you fail. You couldn't get anybody designated. You've come out with a dossier. That dossier has no facts. It reads like a comic book.
Well, I think this is a long process. This is not something you can do overnight. For example, the U.S. Treasury Department has categorically said that the Indian banks were involved in money laundering, so it will take some time to get to the FATF. So at the same time, on the other charges which Pakistan has leveled, it will take some time to get the United Nations Security Council and all the global platforms to understand that how things are moving. This is not, we can't do these things overnight. And at the same time, the level, the way the Indians are sponsoring terrorism in Pakistan is via Afghanistan. So there is a third country.
Where
which
is the
involved.
evidence?
So in that we have to find the.
Which has
we have
again
to
denied
see-
Afghanistan. Afghanistan has denied it. India has denied it. Ambassador Vishnu Prakash,
Definitely.
Pakistan
You would-
is
you would
facing so
also
many
deny
problems internally. It's just trying to blame everyone except the real perpetrators, which is the Pakistan army, and people like Qamar Cheema call them the solution. Ambassador Prakash.
Very much so. There are 4 Ds, ABCD, 4 Ds, which is the hallmark of Pakistan. One is delusion, one is deceit, one is denial, and the 4th is drama. And that is something, the 4 Ds are constantly at play. Now here is the balance sheet. If we look at the balance sheet, the so-called proscribed persons list is pruned periodically, so therefore hundreds and thousands of names disappear overnight. They deny that they do anything, but their own minister stands in the parliament and congratulates the National Assembly and congratulates the Prime Minister and the nation for staging the Pulwama massacre. There is a $10 million reward on Hafiz Saeed. Of course, there must be an India hand. Osama bin Laden is discovered under the nose of the army in Rawalpindi. Of course, there must be an India hand.
Yes.
Hillary Clinton talks of cultivating snakes in the backyard. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Now, look at the irony. Last point that I'm trying to make here. Look at the irony. Look at the doublespeak that Pakistan engages in. They blame, for example, the French president of attacking the Muslim faith. All right. What does the Honorable Prime Minister of Pakistan do? When he's asked about the Xinjiang, where the Uyghurs are being treated the way they are being treated, he does not even know that there is some place called Xinjiang. So that is the kind of
Absolutely. He says, I don't know enough. Absolutely. Qamar Cheema, that just exposes your country and its people. People may sympathize, as you say, with what the Tehreek-e-Labbaik is doing, but Khadim Rizvi also would not have the guts to talk about China and the Uyghurs, what's happening there. Neither would Imran Khan. So this is no defense of Islam. This is just trying to get attention and make money. Last time Khadim Rizvi made money. This time again they want to make money. Your army wants to make money. Then your army will dole out some money.
Well, first of all, let me tell you, the Pakistani police has not used the pellet guns you wrongly mentioned. The second thing, what I want to tell you, the Khadim Rizvi...
It's a Pakistani media report, sir. It's a Pakistani media report.
The information which comes from China is hardly visible for majority of the people in Pakistan. But I think the people must talk on, if the Muslims are not getting a fair deal in China, the people in Pakistan must talk on that, and they should not be double standard, be it China
But they
or be
don't.
it France.
Your money will stop. Your money will stop. You will not have money for your next meal. And I'll tell you why. Take a look at this report. I'll tell you why. अरे भाई साहब, आपका दाना पानी बंद हो जाएगा. China आपका दाना पानी बंद कर देगा if you talk about Uyghurs.
If someone is if the Muslims are not getting a fair deal in China, we need to speak up. If they are not getting the fair deal in India, we need to speak up. So it's not about China, India or anyone. It's about the fundamental values on which we are speaking. But I
dare Imran Khan to speak up about Uyghur Muslims being ill-treated by China. 1 million Muslims in concentration camps. Dare Imran Khan to speak about it. भाई साहब अगले दिन नौकरी चली जाएगी उसकी. But take a look at this report about how China is seeking one more loan from China. How Pakistan is seeking another loan. Loan नहीं मिलेगा सर, दुकान बंद हो जाएगी आपकी.
Political instability, corruption, terrorism, an economy teetering on the verge of bankruptcy. That's the state of Pakistan. With traditional allies like the US and the Saudi Arabia dumping Islamabad, Pakistan is left with only China. Imran Khan is now seeking a $2.7 billion loan from Beijing for the ambitious China-Pakistan Economic Corridor project. China keeps pumping money to keep its hold over Pakistan. With Imran desperate, Beijing is driving a hard bargain and extracting higher interest rate on its loans. But Imran Khan is oblivious that Pakistan is more and more getting entangled in the dragon's debt trap.
मुल्क का जो फ्यूचर है ना वो चाइना के साथ है, ठीक, ये क्लियर हो जाए। सी पैक उसका एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा है, बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा है जो हमारा आगे चाइना से रिलेशनशिप है। चाइना के साथ जो चाइना का डेवलपमेंट मॉडल है, अगर आज पाकिस्तान ने कोई भी डेवलपमेंट मॉडल अपनाना है वो चाइना का है।
Imran's reliance on China comes at a time when protests are raging against Pakistan army. The army is accused of colluding with China to plunder Baloch and Gilgit-Baltistan of its natural resources. Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, we'll track developments here very closely, but that is all I have time for on India First this evening. Many thanks for watching.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.